Right.
Caught him on the top hook.
Got him on the top one.
Get you down on your knees there, bro. Double trouble. Hey, this is what we're after today. White bass is what they're called by most folks. You go over to Tennessee, they're called stripes. You come down here in Oklahoma, where we're at today, it's called sand bass. But regardless of the name, these are ferocious little fighters, and we're going to catch a whole bunch of them today on the G3 Sportsman. Come join us. Get back in there, girl. We've got a fun show today, and in fact, it's fun for me, and as we're going white bass fishing down here with Jeff Williams. We're here in northeast Oklahoma, and Neosho River. The Neosho runs into Grand or out of Grand?
In and out, okay. But this is where Neosho and Spring River meet.
It's that time of year, it's early February. These white bass have been running for a little while now, and they're going to continue to run. They're some of the first fish that come up the rivers to start to spawn. And don't touch that dial or that remote when you think we're going to go white bass fishing, because me and Jeff, we're on a mission today to show you guys how much fun catching white bass is. Got this fancy backup camera, 2 mirrors on each side, and what do? I turn all the way around to back the boat up.
Buffalo
Ranch
with hot wing sauce.
Jacked, Doritos Jacked. This segment is brought to you by Doritos Jacked. They got a little bite to them. So tell them what you're looking for there, Jeff.
Okay, when we're looking for white bass, this time it's pre-spawn up in these rivers. What we have here is, right now we've got a layer of shad and small fish in 28 foot of water hugging the bottom. You can see how this is getting a lot brighter right in here. That means the fish are getting a lot thicker. There's more and more of them. And we're looking for these larger echoes right here, these individual echoes that are up above these shad. Typically that means we have some active white bass or even crappie. We caught crappie up here yesterday above and mixed in with these shad. The shad are really, really thick right here, and I'm sure there's some white bass mixed in here with them. Got him?
I got him.
Oh,
Got him.
Nice one.
He's not too bad.
Nice wintertime white bass, Scott.
Oh yeah, caught him on the bottom hook. Oh, look how fat too. There you go. That's what we were seeing on our Garmin right there. Right there. And there's hundreds of them in this one spot right here. Thanks for the fun, buddy.
He hit it good. I don't know how big he is.
I see him circling. He's not that bad. He's not that bad.
All right.
Fat too, isn't it?
Fat. Fat and feisty.
You know, it's just one of the fish that a lot of people just kind of snub their nose at.
There's a lot of people in Oklahoma don't snub their nose at.
That's what I was getting ready to say. But in Oklahoma, I'll tell you what, that's one of the most popular fish species that you can catch right there.
There will not be a parking spot left in that Twin Bridges area tomorrow morning when the word gets out here on the G3 Sportsman that the white bass are biting. You can see that target separation, and that allows you to go in and target those fish.
That's a good white bass anywhere right there. Fat. This segment of the G3 Sportsman is brought to you by G3 Boats, Garmin, Fiocchi Ammunition, Abu Garcia, Ugly Stick, and Mossback Fish Racks.
What we have right here is our small fish. This is a shad school, and this is the bigger fish are over here. You can see the target separation size between the bait fish and the game fish. You can see them over here. We've got this one kind of zoomed in, but you can really see the active fish right behind this shad school, and that's what we're looking for. We're not going to stop and fish these little ones here. We're going to move around till we see some of these around the shad school. Feels all right to me.
He looked like he's going to come in back here.
Feels frisky.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hang on there, fish.
And you're playing him like some of them PROs that I see on TV playing that fish.
He's kind of playing me.
Real nice fish.
All right.
That is.
Had me wrapped up good too.
I hear you. Well, we're on them right here. While you're playing with that one, I'm gonna.
You got one?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I got one. I got one too. Mine's not as big as yours, but he ain't bad.
He ain't
I
bad.
want you to look at the gut on them things. He kind of resembles me now. Not real big, but I'm gonna tell you what. They are just fat as a butterball.
Yeah, I think. Hit the top. Top go-go.
You see them right here on the Garmin. Now, as good as that looks, and you think, how in the world you ought to be able to catch all of them? Well, with these new Garmins, it's so much easier to find fish, but that doesn't mean that you're going to catch fish. And Jeff there, he has come up with some nice little old baits that he makes. And I'm going to let Jeff show them to you. I've got them in a little box right here, Jeff.
The lures that I'm using right now are called go-go minnows, and the go-go minnow was designed with a real fat curl tail on it. And this fat curl tail comes down to a small pinch point right here. And the beautiful thing about the go-go minnow is you just barely even have to move it to keep the tail turning. And when we're doing this slow retrieving like we are right now, those tails are working. And historically, most all the curl tails that have been on the market, when you slow them down, they wag and they don't spin. So that's what really separates the go-go minnow from a lot of the other ones. And then Scott's using a lure that we call a crappie kicker. And this is a straight tail lure that just has a ton of tail action. You can see that thing just a whipping and a waving, kicking back and forth. Fish.
Is that a go-go white?
Probably a small white.
Oh,
that's a crappie, another crappie. All right, now I love to catch white bass, but when I get into the crappie, man, I'm gonna make about 2 more circles right there trying to get me another crappie or 2. The thing about the Garmin, one of the best things about that is this new down view technology. You can see the target separation between the shad and the game fish, and that allows you to go in and target those fish with a go-go minnow or something that you can reel through them at a really slow speed and pick them off.
You caught him right under the boat, man.
Right up here pretty close.
You about drop shotted that one.
I'm about to get the trolling motor. Get out of there.
Boy, they're fat, ain't they?
They are fat. Some of them hit hard. There's another one right there.
You know, in doing shows, we always try to cover the 4 basic principles of any fishing show.
Nice fish, Scott.
And it's where are you? What are you catching? How are you catching them? And why are you catching them this way? I think we covered 3 of the 4. And the one is how are we catching these? You know what we're using. So I'm gonna let our show host tell us exactly just how we're catching these white bass and the presentation that we're doing.
This is a simple setup. We've talked about the equipment and the go-go minnows, what we're doing. All we're doing is we're setting in about 15 foot of water. Here in the river, this is a little bit of an island, or a little bit of a gravel bar, I guess you would say, in this area. We're going to throw out, and we're just going to retrieve real slow. We want to be real close to the bottom. These fish in here are laying real close to the bottom. So I'm going to watch this high-vis nanofill, and then I'm just going to hold my rod to the side. I'm going to watch my rod tip, and I'm just going to crank in just a real slow retrieve, and the white bass and crappie will just pick it up just real easy.
Huh? How's that feel?
Well, he feels frisky.
That's a dandy. That's a dandy right there, Jeff. I mean, tell you.
Right.
Caught him on the top hook, didn't
Got him on the top one.
Get you down on your knees there, bro.
That's fat.
My goodness, that is, isn't it?
But I just can't stress enough how slow you have to fish some days when the water is down in the upper 30s or low 40s. You got to really, really slow your presentation down. But for whatever reason today, you can see this is as fast as I'm moving my reel. And you get much faster than this, you're not going to get a bite today. Now you got to love that.
The 50th one is just as fun as the first one.
Oh yeah, that bite, you know, feeling that whop.
This segment of the G3 Sportsman is brought to you by Team Catfish, Berkeley, Power Pole, Bug Soother, and by Yamaha. Yep, I just went right through that glob one of them decided to hit.
You can usually tell your active white bass are going to be up on top. They're feeding on the top of those shad.
We have located them on our garments, and you can see right now on that little sonar, the little echo map, or the little echo unit right up there in the front. It looks like a plate of spaghetti here.
Oh, he's decent white bass.
He's not too
Frisky,
bad.
frisky little dude. These rods sure are sensitive. Scott, tell what kind of rods we use.
Well, these are Berkeley's new E-Motion rods. Berkeley hadn't come out with some rods for a while, and I'm really tickled because these just fit just what I like to do as well as you, Jeff. These are 100% carbon fiber, and they are just light as a feather, and but they're really strong. But they're also real sensitive here on the tip. So these fish, you would think as white bass normally just nail something, but they're really not. They're just kind of picking it. We've got a little, the little Aura spinning reels right here from Abu Garcia, a little size 10, and they fit just perfect on here. Hold a lot of line, and of course we're using the Berkeley Nano Fill in this I call chartreuse, in this high-vis green. And for white bass, man, you can't beat this line. And I dare you to find another line that you can cast farther with. And all these fish, Jeff, are all balled up in here because of all the bait, right?
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
That's what's going on, and this is a post-spawn or a pre-spawn pattern up here in the river that you take advantage of every year, Scott.
Yeah.
They move up in here and the shad move up in here. When you find them both together, you find active white bass.
Yeah. Well, and you know, most parts of the country, that's the first fish that start moving up the rivers and the big creeks off the reservoirs or whatever is a white bass. And so when you got that cabin fever and
there you go,
and you're just, you know, you're tired of sitting watching guys like us on TV catching fish, get out there and go after these white bass. I'm gonna tell you what, How does this not look fun right here? I mean, that's just, it's beyond me that people that degrade going out and catching white bass, when you get into them, it's just one right after another.
Right. That too is that. Ain't bad.
You catch a mess of these right here, I don't care who you are. You would really enjoy it.
Hit the top go-go. And that's gonna track through the water nice and straight and look like a bait fish as it comes through the water with this slow retreat.
Fish on, bro.
Fish on.
Fish on, fish on.
The main thing is find them with the Garmin. You know they're in the area, and then just keep moving. They're gonna move out from under your boat. You're gonna have to keep moving around. But if you know they're in the area, you keep moving around, you'll pick them up.
There we go, there's fish right over Eric's head, right there.
Nice one?
Well,
good.
He looks like he's pretty good. They're getting the up close and personal angle on this one. Man, I tell you, he is digging. Boy, and that's a good one too. Look at him in that sunshine right there.
Yeah. No size limit. They want you to come take these fish. These fish are really, really prolific spawners, and here in the Grand Lake area, we are just blessed with very fertile water, and these fish, we have a tremendous forage base, so there is nothing in the world wrong with taking a limit of fish that size with you. 20 fish per day, no length limit.
Fat man. That dude right there, some kind of strong. Them iridescent colors on that tail. That's white right there. That's a sand bass right there, man.
Oklahoma special.
You know, there's two reasons that I have a truck. One is to pull my boat, and the other is to store my gear. The reason why guys have trucks is to haul stuff. That's what the bed of this truck is for, is to haul stuff. When we go on a trip, we're always carrying a lot of gear with us. And I want all my gear protected, and so that's why I choose undercover. Now, this is not a cheap cover. This is strong, this is very durable, and this is what I want. This is something to where I have peace of mind knowing that when we're out of town and we're staying overnight, that this stuff out here that we have is protected. Now, these aren't cheap toppers. These are very high quality tops. They're built to last. They've got nice locking mechanism on here. And I guarantee you, when you shut this and you shut it down, it's not coming up. Great thing about undercover is they're very easy to lift. You can see with two hydraulic lifts right here, we've got a light on here that's very handy at night, and it's actually more bright than you think. Well constructed, very strong, and I guarantee you, somebody might be able to break into it, but it's going to take them an awful long time. A heck of a lot easier than breaking a glass out of your truck to get your gear out of here. And I'm not a stranger to undercover either. For the past 5 or 6 trucks, I've always had an undercover, and I can't imagine having a truck without an undercover. So if you like your stuff and you want to keep your stuff as much as I do, and you have a lot invested in this, I suggest don't go cheap. You get an undercover and you'll be like me. You'll have peace of mind knowing that your stuff is safe when you go on your next trip. Closed captioning for the G3 Sportsman is provided by the Stanley Jig Company. We set the standard, you set the hook.
I've been doing this for probably as long as I can remember. I've been coming up here in the Neosho and Spring River catching these fish, and
Grew up on this river.
I absolutely love to come up here and catch these fish this time of year. This is one of my most favorite things to do, and it's something that a lot of people can enjoy. It's really, really simple, and you can take advantage of these fish in the same locations, on the same baits, year after year, and it's the first thing we get to do as soon as kind of the ice breaks, and it's just something you want to do toward the first of the year. What'd you tell me one time?
You are a hard person to please, boys, let me tell you. White bass, striped, sand bass, whatever you want to call them. I call them fun.
I do too. This is a blast.
Hey, we want to thank Jeff Williams again for coming over here and letting us share a boat with him and catch some of these fun white bass. And I'm just glad to be a part of your show today, Jeff.
Well, I'm glad to have you.
I'm just tickled death to be here, and but we have run out of time. So just letting you guys know, just get out here, come out here and catch some of these white bass. I'll tell you what, you're gonna love it. Bring the kids. It's a good way to get them started in fishing because the action is fun. And it'll also make a kid out of you again, coming in here and catching these fish. So anyway, I hope that me and Jeff have convinced some of you naysayers out there that white bassing is fun, because I know that we've had a ball, and we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna keep fishing even though we're out of time. So for all of us here at the G3 Sportsman, just remember just to keep what you can eat, release the rest, and we'll be out there somewhere next week, right here on the G3 Sportsman. Thanks for watching. G3 Sportsman is brought to you by G3 Boats, Garmin, Fiocchi Ammunition, Abu Garcia, Ugly Stick, Mossback Fish Rack, Team Catfish, Berkeley, Power Pole, Bug Soother, and by Yamaha. That's a catch of the day right there. I'm just glad it was my sweater and not my hand. Welcome to the G3 Sportsman with your host, Jeff Williams. Take it away.
I don't think
You're
so.
going to host the show the rest of the way. This is during the week, so you can imagine what it's like on the weekend.
That's the 6th catfish I've caught today on a go-go minnow. That's amazing.